Welcome to today's lesson on chart patterns with real movement. I'm excited to dive deeper into trend lines, channels, and how to identify when they stop working. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use these tools effectively in your trading. First, let's start with trend lines. A trend line is a line that connects a series of high points or low points on a chart. It represents the direction that price is moving in. Think of it like a line drawn through the top of mountains or the bottom of valleys. This line can help you visualize the trend and even anticipate potential reversals. To draw a trend line accurately, you should wait for at least 3 or 4 points to form before connecting them. This will give you a reliable line that's not prone to false signals. Let's look at an example. On this chart, we have a series of low points at 60, 70, and 70 again. We can draw a trend line connecting these points. This trend line is telling us that price is moving in a downward trend, and it's showing us that at 70, there's a potential support area that price may bounce back from. But what happens when price breaks through this support area? In this case, our trend line may stop working, and price may continue moving lower. Understanding when trend lines stop working is crucial to making effective trading decisions. Let's talk about another common mistake beginners make when using trend lines. They assume that price will always bounce back from the trend line. This is not always the case. Price can break through the trend line and continue moving in the same direction. Now, let's move on to channels. A channel is essentially a trend line that connects two parallel trend lines. It's like a corridor that price moves within. Channels can help us see the range of price movement and anticipate potential reversals when price reaches the upper or lower boundary of the channel. To draw a channel, you need to connect two parallel trend lines. Let's say we have a channel with upper and lower boundaries at 100 and 90, respectively. This channel tells us that price is moving within a range of 90 to 100. When price reaches the upper boundary of 100, we may anticipate a reversal, and when price reaches the lower boundary of 90, we may expect a bounce back. But what happens when price breaks through the upper or lower boundary of the channel? In this case, the channel may stop working, and price may continue moving outside the channel. Understanding when channels stop working is crucial to making effective trading decisions. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes beginners make when using channels. They assume that price will always bounce back from the upper or lower boundary. This is not always the case. Price can move beyond these boundaries before reversing. Another mistake is thinking that channels are infallible. Channels can break down, and price can move outside the channel without warning. To practice what we've learned today, I want you to draw 3 trend lines and 1 channel on a demo chart or paper trading journal. Start by identifying a trend line in an upward or downward movement. Then, connect at least 3 points to draw the line, making sure to wait for enough points to form before drawing the line. Next, draw a channel by connecting 2 parallel trend lines. Finally, observe how price moves within the channel and look for potential reversals when price reaches the upper or lower boundary. As you practice drawing trend lines and channels, remember that there's no such thing as a perfect trend line or channel. The key is to use these tools to make better trading decisions, not to rely on them for guaranteed profits. For your homework exercise, pick a random chart and draw 3 trend lines and 1 channel on it. Then, observe how price moves within the channel and look for potential reversals when price reaches the upper or lower boundary. Take a picture of your chart and submit it to me, along with a few paragraphs explaining your thought process and what you're looking for in the chart. Remember to keep in mind that trading is not a guaranteed process, and there's always risk involved. By practicing drawing trend lines and channels, you'll become more comfortable with these tools and make better trading decisions. In our next lesson, we'll be discussing support and resistance, so stay tuned for more learning on how to trade effectively. Don't forget to subscribe to Trading Club 7U for more lessons on how to trade effectively, and never miss an update on your trading journey.